What if finding your business purpose isn't about searching, but connecting what's already there? This Japanese framework shows you exactly how to do that. It's called Ikigai. And if you want to build a purpose-driven community that is actually going to buy, this is where you start. But here's the thing: passion, mission, profession, and purpose are not the same thing. Here's what I found out. Most business owners, myself included, are building in the wrong place. They're following just the passion, right? But here's the deal. A lot of times you can't pay the bills with following your passion. Or they chase money, which was the case for me, that ends up leaving you burnt out in a matter of months or years, right? They think that they are building a purpose-driven business, but they're actually just stuck in one of the two circles. And that's exactly why on, Sunday night coming into Monday, it feels like dread instead of excitement. When you build in the wrong circle, work feels like work. But when all four of them align, you hit what the Taoists call the Wu Wei effortless action. Flow state, baby. And if you haven't been in flow state, it is pretty amazing. So let's break down all of the circles, because understanding these individually is crucial to putting it all together. And let me know what you think about my drawing. Yes, I did copy it, or I did, trace it, I should say, because I really wanted to get it right. So at the top, we have love. And love isn't just what sounds fun, right? It's what you can do for hours without checking the clock, right? Like those conversations that you get really deep in and you forget about eating lunch. And it's what really lights you up. And here's the deal. When it comes to flow state, I have been in flow state before. In my past career in real estate, I was absolutely in flow state with certain things that I was doing. And that was based around creating content and actually helping people. And now when I'm focused on Clear Voice Media, I get in flow states when I talk about videos like this and I'm preparing for videos like this. I'm getting all the content together. I'm doing my research, right? And it actually makes me feel like I have this deeper purpose. And I didn't have that when it came to real estate, And whatever that is for you, you need to find that. And I would say this: the greatest thing that I've discovered this past year, like the past 12 months really, is that finding what you love and connecting those four circles together is amazing. And it's amazing to the point of where you can absolutely do what you love in a way, present it to people, sell offers, talk about it in a way that's going to make you money, which is the fourth circle of the Ikigai. But what I really want you to dig in deep when it comes to figuring out what you love is this: don't just take what you love to do, right? Like, I love hanging out with my wife and my kids. I'm not gonna use that as a business thing, right? But I can use certain pieces of that. Like, what is it when I'm with my wife and my kids that I absolutely love? When I'm playing, like when I'm really in the mode, right? When I'm playing with my kids, they're 8 and 5, I can forget about time. I go back to when I was a kid and I loved being outside. I loved playing sports, just making things up, just being crazy. Like, there is a piece of that I can take from, hanging out with my kids and being in that flow state of doing what I love and then applying it to business. And that is the point. That is where you need to figure out, okay, what is that for me? But once you find out what you love, then comes the next part. So the next part of Ikigai is what you're good at. Not what you wish you were good at. What do people come to you for? What feels effortless to you but impressive to others? I recently embarked on this amazing journey, right? And I'm sharing everything along the way, and it has to do with building a community based on what I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, and then eventually it's something that I can be paid for, right? And it's this community that I created around recovery and addiction from substance abuse. I know in my heart and in my soul that I love talking about that. That is one of those things that I can talk about with people forever, right? And I'm really good at it because I have a lot of experience. I've been sober and in the recovery space now for 16 and a half years, right? So I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of knowledge around that. I don't know everything, right? And I don't have endless amounts of experience. I have the amount of experience that I have, but I'm really good at talking to people who are looking to find help. And even when it came to real estate, I was really good at strategizing with people. When they were looking to sell their home or when they were looking to purchase a home, it wasn't like the day-to-day of looking for homes and stuff. It was more the strategy behind it, right? And like I could talk about that forever. And especially when it came to investing in real estate, because I believe so much in it and I got pretty good at it, that, like these are the things that I love personal development. So at the end of the day, when I really think about Clear Voice Media, yes, it's a business, but it has so much to do with personal development. I love it. I'm good at it. It's something I've been doing for a very, very long time. It's something I could talk about ad nauseum forever with somebody. And that is like the other piece to the puzzle, right? Because we're talking about 4 different circles. So that is the second circle. When you figure out what you're really good at, that's when you can move on to the next part. So we have circle number 3, right? And why can't I point at that? It needs real problems that real people will actually end up paying you to solve. Not what you think they need, what they're actually struggling with. It's those things that keep people up at night. And the needs aspect of this is so important because we can get so deep into the ideas of creating a business and, I'm going to go this way and I'm going to do this. But if you don't back that up with actual data, with what people really need, then you're just like throwing all of this time and effort into something that might not actually pan out. For me, take this new brand, it's not even a business, right? It's like more of a passion project for me. I know that the world needs more advocates for recovery, for people that have been able to beat drug addiction, for people to be a voice, to break the stigma. Like addicts aren't bad people. We're not bad people. We have a disease, right? And we find comfort in using substances or alcohol, whatever the hell it is, right? So I figured out that the world needs more people like me that are willing to stand up for it, that are willing to talk about it, that are willing to create a community about it and share with others that there is a way to be better. With Clear Voice Media, I have found that the business world needs more people that are anti-guru, right? Like I am not the person that's up on the mountaintop talking down to everyone. I am with you. I've been in business for almost 10 years now, right? Like I've learned a lot along the way. I've been an entrepreneur. I've made over 1,000 videos, right? So doing this, like having that conversation, talking to you directly, I have been there. And what I have seen in this business role is that community is the way to outlast AI. Building a purpose-driven community is truly the way that you can build the most solid foundation for your business. And I see a need for that. People have talked to me about that. People are looking for someone that is going to help direct them and to create transformation too. It's not just knowledge and information anymore. That shit is a dime a dozen, right? It's all about transformation. What can I provide to you that's going to help you transform your life? But once you figure that out, this next piece, the last circle, is probably the most important for your business. So now we have circle number 4, which is what can you be paid for? The market reality. Are people already spending money here? Because hope doesn't pay rent. Again, this goes back to what I was just saying. If you hope that this is going to work out without actually backing it up with data, like I've done a good amount of research on the recovery piece. on on Clear Voice Media and being that voice of reason, of transformation that can help business owners get to a point where they build a purpose-driven community that funds their business, that makes them more money. And I understand that is something that I could get paid for. And here is exactly how I will do it. The number one thing that I am going to do is build a paid community. And what I truly will work into is a paid mastermind. A small group of people, other business owners that are looking to build that purpose-driven community where we meet on a weekly basis. And, obviously we're going to be doing digitally because people will be all over the place, but then shifting that at some point into in person, maybe once a month, maybe or twice every 6 months, or who knows, right? But once you figure out all of those circles and then what you can actually be paid for, you are going to be setting yourself up and your business up for long-term success, right? Longevity is something that is not talked about nearly enough in this space, right? Like in this guru space or, this personal development space. I am fascinated, truly, truly, truly fascinated with longevity and not just being here for a year, but 10 or 20 or 40, right? Like I want to keep doing this for as long as I possibly can. And I understand that this idea of Ikigai and being in flow state and finding what you love, finding what you're good at, finding what the world needs from you and what you can be paid for is the best way to build a purpose-driven community and to actually make money. But here is where a lot of people get stuck with this. See, when some of these circles overlap, like say what you love and what you're good at, that's passion. And this is really your hobby. It feels amazing, but your significant other is asking when it's actually going to make money. I know that this recovery community is more of a passion and it's more of a mission too, right? Can it be monetized? Absolutely 100%, right? And I know that. I'm very, very well aware of it. But when you just focus on the love and what you're good at, and you're just focused on that passion, you have to understand all four circles need to be in alignment in order to build a solid business. If you just want to live out your passion, if you don't care about money at all, then so be it. Or if you look at what you love and what the world needs, that's more of a mission, And again, the recovery community that I'm building, that is absolutely a mission. This is something that it's like you want to save the world, right? But you might not have the skills yet. And there's really, there's not a lot of finances behind it. And look, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but when you focus on just your mission, you miss out. And I will say this is where most people are. You focus on what the world needs and what you get paid for, and that's your job. This is most jobs. It's needed and it's profitable, but it can be soul-sucking. I've been a licensed real estate actually since 2016. It started out, I was very passionate about it. I made good money, and then I started to become less passionate about it. And I started becoming more and more interested with creating content, personal development, and things like that. So at some point, it just became very soul-sucking. But here's the deal. I made a lot of money. And it's hard to leave that, right? Like, how do you turn your back on something that's been providing for you for years? And then you fall into what you're good at and what you can be paid for. And that's what your profession is, right? You're successful, and this is again me, but you feel empty. It's those golden handcuffs. And that's what I was experiencing. It was literally just golden handcuffs. I have lived there for the majority of the past 5 years or so. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. If you're seeing this video, you are very interested in building a purpose-driven community that is going to fund your life financially, but actually fund your soul and give you something to look forward to every single day that you just want to do. And sometimes it's something that you're willing to do without being paid for a long time. I'm not being paid yet by Clear Voice Media. It's been in existence now for 3.5 months. I haven't gotten paid from it. I still am selling real estate on the side, but I'm working towards something that I absolutely love to do, right? I love it. I'm good at it. I know the world needs it, and I can get paid for it eventually. One of the most impactful things that I've done over my time in real estate was I was actually able to create a Friday morning mastermind. It was specifically for the real estate brokerage that I was a part of that I no longer am. I know the mastermind is still going, but it was in person, right? Like, it was very transformational because we decided to not do the sales meeting, right? Like, all these real estate brokerages are always gonna have sales meeting. Terribly boring, god-awful boring. Barely anyone ever showed up. So we were like, let's start this mastermind. Let's focus on this one thing, which was creating wealth through real estate, right? Everyone had that same shared goal. And I facilitated it. My partner at the time facilitated it. And it grew the brokerage from like 16 or 18 agents to the peak before I left to 110, right? Like, that wasn't the main, that was actually, no, that was the main thing. There was other, obviously there was other people that came in that weren't part of that mastermind, but that was the main driver for building that business, because lives were changed all of the time. People kept coming back week after week. They talked about their personal life. They talked about their business. They figured out ways to really impact others. And that is so powerful. And if you can find something that intersection, right, that you love, that you're good at, that the world needs, that you paid for, and then you find your purpose, right? And you can build a mastermind around that, or some kind of community around that, you will be set. I promise you. This is the way to fight off AI. This is the way to fight off all the sameness that you see in whatever business you're doing. This is going to uniquely position you to stand out from everybody else and set you up for life. So now it's your turn. Grab something to write with. Draw the 4 circles that overlap. And in each one, you have to answer this. Look, just do it right here. What do you love? What topics make you lose track of time? What are you good at? What do people thank you for? What do people think of you when they think of your name, right? What does the world need? What problems do you see everywhere that you can solve with it? And what can you get paid for? What are people already buying? And here's the deal. Don't overthink it. First thoughts, right? Where are all 4 overlapping? That is the sweet spot. That's where your community should live. And one quick warning before you do it: do not start with money. That is backwards. Start with what you love and the skills that you already have. And understand that your Ikigai will evolve over time as you grow. And if you can't find the center, you might be thinking too broad, so narrow.